Yes, sir. Good to see you, Jeez. Love this song, love this song. Good morning, everyone. I hope you guys are had a fantastic weekend. Yesterday was the bank holiday. We're back to work once again. A full week of trading with you guys live, going through everything that we need to know in order to improve as a trader here in the summer days. We're ending near summer, almost heading into autumn. It's that time of the year. We're heading almost into the Q4. It's that last month, man, September. Let's get the best out of it. All right. LTA, baby. Good to see you guys. Hope you guys are all doing fantastically well. It's an absolute pleasure to be here on a day-to-day basis. Once again, thank you for the 100K subscribers. Let's get back to work like nothing happened as usual. And let's make sure that we are all stepping up our game as killers. All right. We're working on a lot of things in the back. Looking forward to show it. All right. Good to see the fam as always. Let's talk about what has happened with gold. Gold has been dropping throughout the London session today. We're kind of seeing a little bit of a shakeout happening currently at the moment on the lower time frames. So we as well get and dive into it. Let's see what currently is happening. Sometimes when we're in doubt here, we have to just zoom out when in doubt, and we'll figure out a way together. Okay, that's what it's gonna be. Let's see who we have with us as always. Let's do a big shout out to the G's, the OGs that have been here from day one, heading into the next stage here on the streams and on our channel, on our community, and everything that we have been doing here. Today is the last day of our LTA VIP. We're gonna close in around 4 hours from now. So after the stream, we will be closed for 1 month, for 2 months, something in that manner here. All right. 6 hours, let's say 6 hours roughly, between 4 and 6 hours, all right? Estimated, all right? You know that the world has changed forever. We are never gonna go back to that safe and secure life. The world will speed up and it will definitely not slow down. Everything is moving faster. AI is taking jobs, central banks, digital currencies are approaching. So you need to be prepared. You need to be prepared, and there's nothing better than having something on the side like a trading business to secure yourself whenever you need to. It's now or never, man. So you do not want to get left behind. That's why we have the offer laying here for you to join us 1 year full focus. It does not take 5 years. It just requires you to be fully focused for 1 year with us. I think that will set in some major improvements to your overall trading. Okay. Let's talk about gold. But before we talk about gold, let's quickly dive into the chat here. Let's see what we have with us. Let me quickly have a sneak peek with the fam. I'm having my eyes on you. I'm always looking. I'm always observing. Big Boss Fishing is one example. Green Reaper. Yes, sir. Tira, thank you, man. Tech Gamer Boy Christian, thank you. Some Dutchies in the building. Like Rose. Headshot 2 Wavy. Alex, Lucas Groove, thank you, man. Thank you. Matthias, Margaret, Volatile Johnny, thank you, G. Dominic, Jam, Samuel, Max Official, Gaming. What else we have? What else do we have? Kamnish, Market Expert, Cookie, Ivy, shout out to you. Happy September, guys. Happy September. It's gonna get a wild month. Potentially, new monthly candle has opened officially. Where is our top wick? That's the question. Where is the monthly top wick? All right, are we gonna see a nice monthly candle? Is that what we're gonna create, or is it just a one mover to the downside here? Because September is red timber, they call it, right? Red timber. Usually it tends to be extremely bearish for commodities, especially for gold in September. But who knows? Who knows? We're taking it leap by leap, step by step, and we're just gonna observe what currently is happening here. So it's time to kick it off. Let's start off with our breakdown. Let's see what we have here. And that requires the weekly candle, of course. The weekly candle has been coming down right now, but you can see already that on the daily time frame, we are tapping into support. All right, we have been tapping into that support at 24.84. You could see it right there. You had that support, that resistance right there. We were unable to break it, and then on the 16th of August, we broke above it, we retested it, and we created a lower high. All right, eventually we did not break the highs here. The highs were set at 25.32. These are like the all-time highs right now. We came back, tested it as support one more time, and this is now where you can see the bounce from. All right, that same exact bounce happened from this level right here, 24.84. So this is where we're bouncing from right now. So we came down, we tapped into the 24.84, and so far it seems that we're kind of respecting it, right? So if you're there, going back on the 4 hour, you can see clearly that, you know, we kind of have been respecting it right now. That first initial reaction is where buyers immediately stepped in, potentially holding here at this current moment. If you take this to the 1 hour, you can see that we have been consolidating throughout the Asian and London sessions on the 1 hour time frame. If you open the 1 hour session here, you can see now that both, right, the London and the Asian lows are swept. All right, so the London and Asian lows are swept already. Also, the previous Asian session from Monday, so from yesterday, is swept as well throughout this session, and we're now tapping into support. So we have been tapping from the daily support right now, and we're currently again getting rejected from this initial range that we were creating on a Monday already, right? So the moment the monthly candle opened up here, this is practically the whole monthly candle right now, right? This is the monthly candle. This is also the weekly candle. You can see right now that this has practically been an area of consolidation, all right? And when we're in an area of consolidation, what are we gonna do, guys? Let me know in the chat here. What are we gonna do? We have been talking about this already for the past 2-3 weeks. If we are in an area of consolidation, you can see on a bigger scale, we are still in a much bigger range, right? A much bigger area of consolidation. The last thing we're doing is trending here. We're just consolidating overall. We either wait indeed for the manipulation to occur, or we're gonna go to practically the lower time frames. And that means that we have to go to the lower time frames, like let's say the 5 minute or the 15 minute to kick it off with. And we work with fixed ranges, right? Fixed ranges is where we work with. That's the only way we can kind of look at gold here. And the reason why this is so important is because we're not trending here. You know, what tends to happen with gold a lot is that gold does this. Gold starts building ranges, breaks out of the range, right? It builds a range, it breaks or manipulates the range, and then it goes the other way, right? It's either that. It's either gonna be your consolidation right here, your expansion from the range, your pullback, and then your sell-off, or it's gonna be, and it can also be the case here, the consolidation, and then it's gonna be the manipulation, and then it's the expansion, right? We've seen this also happening many times as well here, where you consolidate, manipulate, and expand. But every single time we have the same old tool that we utilize. And especially when you're utilizing LTA concepts on page number 38, you can find it right there in your ebook. It's a free ebook. You can download it right here. Go to page 38. We talk about the fixed profiles. You can find it right there. All the explanations, all the trading examples are included in there as well on how to approach it and how to trade it. And in this case, you can see that we have been developing a range We have been swiping the Asian and London lows already. We're now pulling back. We are tapping into daily support right here. So what we have been looking for is we utilize the fixed range right there until the breakout. And we wait for the information. And you can see right as when we tapped into the previous, or sorry, the fixed POC, we immediately saw that rejection right there. You can see that instant rejection from the fixed POC right there, holding us back. Does it mean we're gonna just break down right now and we're just gonna continue to drive further? It could be, all right? So let's take this a step further. Now we're looking at the dollar. And why are we looking at the dollar? We're looking at the dollar because we wanna know what the current negative correlation is with gold on the 4-hour time frame. Why is this important? Let me know in the chat. Why is it important to look at this indicator right here? We call this the correlation coefficient. If you want to use it, you type in correlation coefficient. All right, you tap into it. You click on gold here. If you look at the dollar index and you type in gold, or you do the other way around, you type in the dollar index. What you want to look at is how well it has been correlated or negatively correlated with each other. That means that if it's negatively correlated, which you can see is most of the time, right? There is a negative correlation between the dollar and between gold. Then you have to take the dollar very serious. Why? Because if the dollar holds up very strong and looks strong, then there is a big chance that gold might look weaker, right? And you can see there that the correlation stands currently at minus 0.081. That means that it's extremely negatively correlated with gold on the 4-hour time frame. And you can kind of confirm this, right? Ever since Tuesday, the dollar has been pushing up, and ever since Tuesday on the 4-hour time frame, you can see that from a Tuesday onwards, you know, we have respectively coming down here with gold, right? So gold down, dollar up. Therefore, correlation, negative correlation is extremely strong at this particular moment. So therefore, it's important to keep a close eye on the dollar at the moment. Sometimes it's not as important as when we are right here above our 0 point. Why? Because if we're above our 0 point, we're kind of seeing a positive correlation that could usually leans into manipulation for gold here and the dollar, leading people into the wrong direction. So the conclusion is to never really assume that it's always negatively correlated. It's not always gold up, dollar down, or dollar up, gold down. It's not always the case here. You always have to confirm that, and you can confirm that with this specific indicator. Currently, confirmation is set. Strong negative correlation between gold and between the dollar. So if the dollar holds up very well, then, you know, obviously what you're going to see is you're going to see, you know, gold dropping. If the dollar respects this range, right, and it starts to push up, gold is going to drop further. If dollar manipulates the lows and it breaks below, there is a big chance that gold is going to come up, right, and it's going to potentially look to continue to drive further up after bouncing from this 4-hour support. So how we're going to approach this is the following. This particular zone right here, okay, is I wait for the dollar to make a move here, right? I wait for the dollar to potentially retest this particular range right there. I wait for the dollar to tap into that zone, react from any of our levels to see if we can hold here and respect this. If this is the case, then there is a chance, in my opinion, that gold might break above here. If gold breaks above, I'm going to go long. If the dollar decides to bounce from any of these levels here, then yeah, and we re-break the lows, I think you have pretty clean price action from this break of the 4-hour right here to fill up that gap below here to come back further to lower levels, right? Starting with the 24.74, maybe even the 24.60. Okay, so it all depends based upon what's currently happening, based upon the dollar, if we're going to look for longs or if we're going to look for shorts, in my opinion. But I'm going to stick on the lower time frames only to see if this might be something something interesting. So if we do see that manipulation and the expansion up, then I'm interested in longs. And if we do see a bounce from the dollar here and we're starting to push up again, I do think that we can re-break the lows. And if we re-break the lows, I think we have pretty clean price action to the downside here to our next level, which is going to be around a 100 pip move to begin with, which is going to be the 2474, all right, which is around a 100 pip move from our 4-hour break. So this is kind of like your 100 pip move here that we can take as well if we want to take it down. Whereas if the other thing happens here, there is a lot more upside potential, why is there a lot of upside potential if the dollar turns out and flips bearish? Well, in this case, I would say if you do break the highs here, we are currently tapping into 4-hour and daily support, right? And if we're tapping into daily support, there is a chance you might feel it bullish. And if you feel it bullish, we might looking to continue to drive up again. And why is it still possible? Well, I'm still looking at these highs here, right? I'm still interested in seeing if there is a reason for us to take out the highs here. And if September is going to be that bearish, we might have to set in a bigger top wick here before we actually start to move, right? Something in that manner. Okay, so that's the idea, that's the thought process right here. And yeah, based upon that, we'll see if we can you know, go short and target the 2474, or if we are actually looking for the other way here. Both ways is possible, and the reason why is because we're in a bigger range. We're in a bigger consolidation range. We're not trending, we're consolidating. We are at the bottom of the range of that area of consolidation, and therefore we can see what we can look for right there. Okay, now last time we had the VWAP as well. We have that rejection from the VWAP as well here. So yeah, we might as well hold this range for the dollar. Any of these levels, utilize this range as support and potentially bounce from it. And if that's the case, I think there's a big chance that gold will re-break the lows. And if we re-break the lows, I think we can start looking for continuation plays to the downside. But yeah, that's the current play on the lower time frame. What I would love to see is that we just bounce up from this support, we break the highs, we flip that into support, and we look for continuations to drive up, because then we can put our entry there, we put our stop loss below, and we target the previous highs, the previous range highs, right? Something in that manner is what I would look for, and that would be the ideal case scenario, in my opinion. Just hold that support, hold that range, start consolidating, take out the highs eventually, and then see if we can, you know, look for another reversal to the downside if that's the case here. Okay, let's see what happens with the dollar, and then based upon that we can look forward here. All right, same thing happens for the news. We have a lot more movement on the news today. We have the S&P US manufacturing PMI, and then we have the ISM manufacturing PMI as well. All right, yes sir, yes sir. Lorenzo, I think the gold will be ranging until Friday. NFP, what do you think? I mean, I think we're gonna, yeah, on a bigger scale, I think the NFP might cost the bigger move here. It would not be surprised if we stay within this bigger range, you know, throughout the whole week. That's why. And if that's the case, then we wait for the breakout. And if the breakout comes and we break the highs, then we know what we're gonna do. We're gonna look for longs only, right? We're gonna just flip it and look for longs only. That would be the ideal case scenario here. Lorenzo, anything about Danvo? I mean, yeah, man. Listen, I didn't know anything about it at all last stream. So of course, you know, everyone was talking about it, so I started to do some research. Yeah, what do you want to know? Like, I mean, it's pretty obvious, it's pretty clear what happened, right? I'm not here to bash any other streamer. I, you know, respect for all the work that somebody puts into. I know how hard it is. I know what kind of grind it is. I know you're gonna get people on your side. I know you get a lot of hate for it, for what you do, regardless if you get free value or not. So I respect his work ethic for the past years. Now, when it comes down to his mem, like, what I don't get though is that people think literally, and I don't know, like, let's be honest, do you actually truly believe that somebody, you know, starts revenge trading and start putting in 400 fucking trades by himself? Or do you think it was just an automated bot where he did a lot of research towards that he thought would work, that actually did his thing for a while, that actually provided himself with a lot of amazing opportunities, possibilities, really good returns over time, and that bot, or that whatever, that algo just ripped itself apart, started self-sabotaging, and completely destroyed that account? Is that more likely to happen? Or do you think that he actually started to revenge trade after a couple losses, and he took 400 trades like a fucking psychopath, and he started losing all their trades, which is what literally people are saying. I mean, come on, man. Come on. It has to be a bot or something in that matter. And that is just extremely unfortunate, because that means that you just have to do a lot more research. You know, you need to have years and years and years and years and years and years. You need to have years of data before you can release a bot, knowing that it's, range proof. And especially with gold, one of the most volatile assets out there. So yeah, it's a very unfortunate situation. I don't know the ins and outs. We're gonna wait for a response. It will come at some point. I'm not in a rush. We'll see. But for the people that think he was revenge trading, I mean, you have to be a real psychopath to place 400 trades in that short period of time, manually. Okay, so I don't know how people can think about that one, but yeah. Unfortunate situation regardless. I have good faith. I have good faith. I have good faith in the long term. Yeah. FOREX Pop said there are a lot of misleading YouTube streamers in the industry, not only don't vote, but we have to deal with it. I agree. I agree. I agree. Happy 100K. Thank you, G. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, my friend. Lorenzo, you only trade gold on stream, but I heard you also trade Forex. Yeah, I trade a lot of Forex on the side here. I said it already multiple times on the stream. It's just impossible for me to integrate Forex on the YouTube streams with the new strategy that we've been utilizing in our group, which has been extremely successful for a lot of individuals in our group, specifically trading Forex. The problem with Forex is that you have so many different pairs. And if you start focusing on, let's say, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pairs, because that's what we're doing in the group, it's very hard to organize this on stream. It's practically impossible. Because then the moment I go and I talk about one pair, the other pair comes, and then people in the chat say, what about this one? And what about this one? So I'm kind of forced to stick with a couple of instruments on stream, like gold, like the NASDAQ. And that's practically what I decided to focus on, gold and the NASDAQ. But yeah, regardless, and I do agree, also based upon the broker statements and everything, Forex is where indeed where I'm performing very well, for sure. Absolutely, absolutely. Maybe one day I find a way, but for now, yeah, we have to stick with what we have here. And yeah, that's it. But also it's great for educational purposes. And I think what we're learning here is critical also. And can be transferred to other instruments as well. Res says, Lorenzo, I've been experiencing stocks and crypto market, but I want to move to day trading, scalping, gold, and forex. What do you think? It's a completely different game. So if you start a completely different ball game, then understand it's completely different. You need to find your way. You need to find your way. I agree. It takes time to find your way. So give it time. And yeah, man, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Yeah. Matthias said, Lorenzo, I checked the NASDAQ. It reacted from the previous weekly very low slowly. Do you think there's a chance of sweeping the highs of the previous Sunday open? Yeah, let's talk about that then. Let's check out the NAS. Let's go to the NASDAQ. Yeah, we have been trending down ever since. last month, right? Nvidia saw a massive drop, like an 8% drop at some point as well. Let's look at the last week indeed. Yeah, the only way I would say if that's the case, I would reclaim the Sunday Open first, right? I would reclaim the Sunday Open. But if you do break the value area low, I think there is a chance that we're going to go for the previous weekly lows first. If you go for the previous weekly lows first, then, you know, it's a pretty clean target from there, right? If you start re-breaking the lows, you kind of have a lot of clarity for it to come back down towards the 19,147. But if you do catch the Sunday Open and we reclaim the Sunday Open, you know, we might be indeed setting up for a swipe back towards the previous Sunday highs, previous Sunday Open, like you said before, swiping the highs here. So I agree with you, but I would love to see first a break above the Sunday Open before I would start looking for that setup. Everything around that moment, I would say, okay, if you do reclaim the lows and break it, the previous weekly lows are looking very nice, very clean, because we have a gap there. We can take the lows here. Yeah, man, and especially if you do swipe the highs, but you close above it and then re-break the lows. You know, there's also a possibility that we can start coming down further as well, man. So yeah, I agree if you do break above the Sunday Open, okay? Something like that, yeah. But for the rest, I said what I had to say about Danvo here. I'm not going to go any deeper because there is not much more information I can give you. I'm just an outsider. So, you know, I just have a couple of assumptions based upon what my overall observation was. And one assumption is that it has not been manually traded. For sure. You're not going to take 400 trades in a couple hours. Or in a day or whatever. I don't even know. But that seems highly unlikely to me. So, I mean, for all the speculators out there, go to YouTube. You'll find a lot of cool stuff about it. I'm not going to dive into it too much because I don't see the benefit. Guys, did you start taking more than 2 micros? I haven't traded on the funded account since our last day. I didn't trade yesterday, so today is my first day. The only trade that I was interested in is the dollar yen because I expect more weakness into the yen over the next couple of months. A lot of guys have been asking about these indicators, and you know, I've been working on a lot of fundamental indicators. I'm working more on a swing trading approach to the market as well. I see myself being or becoming more or less a swing trader in the future as well. And I do believe that this is where my passion lays as well because of the fact that it has to do with the macro fundamentals. And the macro fundamentals to me are extremely interesting. The more and longer I'm into trading, I care more about the drivers of the market. Why is something happening? Why is something moving up? What are the actual economic reasons you know, behind it? That's what I'm trying to figure out here. And what I realized is that I needed something very mechanical for my fundamental analysis and not some fugazi trying to predict and look at the news because of this and because of the central bank news and this article and that article. That's fucking garbage. What I realized is that you have a couple of tools we need to understand in order to make a fundamental decision, to become fundamentally biased on the market, to then utilize the technicals on the higher time frame to follow up with a direction. That's what I realized. So, for example, when I'm looking at the yen right now, we're in the development of a couple of proprietary indicators that we have been working on. And that means that, it requires hours and hours and days of backtesting. Okay, days of backtesting. It's not just going to be, Lorenzo's going to release his indicators and it's just going to be out of the blue. No, it has to be perfect. It has to be fucking perfect. So look at this. We have been working on this one for a long period of time. Retail, the commercials, the CUT data. And if you look at what I'm doing currently, is I'm taking all that information and I'm backtesting years and years back on each particular environment, on each currency, each commodity, each energy sector here to come up with what I'm personally looking at. And that is a clean and clear bias for myself to see how many times does this work, how many times does it haven't worked over the past 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. And I'm looking at all kinds of different ways and examples to get and become biased in the market here, okay? That's what I'm building. And I take this extremely serious right now. And I do believe that we have some secret sauce right there. But again, bunch of backtesting over and over again in order to get where I want to be and to get to my conclusion. And that is data, actual data based upon historic movements, based upon fundamental indications, plotted on a technical chart. That's what I'm looking at. Okay, so bunch of information that I've been utilizing. And yeah, man, I'm looking forward to talk about it more in the near future here. But a lot of money went into this, and hours, if not days of backtesting went into this so far, and I'm still not where I want to be. So yeah, we're getting there though. We're getting there. We're getting there. And yeah, I mean, when it comes down to swing trading, I need to know what the probability is. And I don't want to have any like put my tongue in the air, right, and start thinking, let me see how the wind blows. Okay, this has a 70% win rate. Yeah, right, it has 70% win rate. How do you know that? Well, by actually backtesting it 10, 15, 20 years ago in 50 different scenarios. That's how you do that on 15 different instruments, right? So that's what we're doing with a couple guys that we're building this out. And yeah, we're going to release this, and it's going to be a premium service. We're going to release it as a premium service for the guys that are interested in swing trading, because it's a separate entity of what we're doing here, right? You can always work yourself into trade setups with LTA concepts on the lower time frame eventually. But the foundation is swing. But we said, if you put in the work in the community, right? If you become and you put in the effort and you help other people, you don't have to stream all day, but you help other people in the community, setting them up, helping them out, putting in the work, we're going to give it to you. We're going to give it to you for free. So you can either earn it by putting in the work, right? Improving your own trading, which is a win-win for everyone. And you're going to get these for free. And if you're not interested in doing that, you can buy them. But it's all up to you to decide here. But take consideration that we will never release anything without proper backtesting, proper work put in before we actually start releasing something, right? So you know it works. It's factual. It's not speculative. It is factual, right? And that's what matters. That's what matters. All right. Factual data. Look at that shit. Over and over again. We cannot say that interest rates are the ultimate driving factor of price. Depends what you trade. But yeah, interest rates are indeed very, very important. We're working with one of them. One of these indicators actually has to do with has to do with interest rates. Indeed, that's part of it. Yeah, that's one layer. There are multiple layers involved here. And the more layers you can align, the higher the confidence, the higher the probability. And then we look back into the time and we start thinking about, okay, how many times did this work out in the past 20 years? So what's the probability? And if then we get a signal, right? Internally, we get a signal. This is in an extreme level or whatever. We look at it. Okay. We look at our spreadsheet. Okay. An 80% win rate. All right. Perfect. 80% win rate. Fantastic. I'll take that. All right. So I know when it happens again, it has an 80% chance of playing out. All right. With the right, risk management, sizing, and then all of that stuff. And the technicals are made to time the market, of course. That's what we're looking at. Okay. All right, dollar is in this range. I like to see what the dollar will do here on the 30 minutes. So, do we close above it, below it? Do we set a bottom wick? Do we hold above here? Is there a chance we might, push back further, consolidate, expand, retrace, continue, drive up? It happens. Gold is going to have a hard time. Jeez, a hard time. What is the trade market name for oil? WTI is one layer. If you want to look at it on spot, if you look at it on futures, it's CL. So it's either CL or it is WTI, right? Yeah. So based on the 4 hour, the dollar is actually still holding up very well. It did came down a little bit here, but overall I have to say it's holding up. It's doing its best to hold up here pretty decent. But we're breaking down now. We're back in the range now, and if you do break below and we start tanking, gold is going to break the highs, and I think the best long opportunities will be based upon that on the play right here, right? The opening price of the week is sitting at 2502. So ideally, if you want to look for longs, we would look for longs above the opening price of the week as well. All right, I would love to see if we can break back above it here, but for now I think shorts are still favorable as long as the dollar holds up here, So this level for the dollar is invalidated, at least on the 30-minute, so we can remove this one. This is the level to look out for on the dollar index. It's the 101.282. Okay, 101.282. If you manage to hold in this level, then gold is setting up here. We're now currently just in a very tight range. Once again here, we're ranging in a smaller range. We're in a bigger range, we're smalling. We're just practically going from range to range, right? That's what we're doing here. So we have a big range. We're building all kinds of smaller ranges in that bigger range right now as well here, right? In these ranges individually, if you start zooming into this range right here, you have all these smaller ranges, right? All these smaller ranges right here over and over again. And you can see that in these smaller ranges, the best trades come from the levels, the fixed levels, for example, right here, right? Same thing happened there. We bounced from this level. Same thing happened ideally in this high. We got rejected very high. Same thing happened in this high. You have all these smaller ranges getting developed and getting set here, and you do practically the same thing. You either break out and you retrace and you bounce from it, or you break down, you manipulate to the other side and you continue to drive further. So it's either one of those that are aligning here. So if we just take this further, you can see that this practically has been the game to play. You're going to get some wins, you're going to get some losses, but overall the win rate has been pretty accurate so far in this range. And now we're doing the same thing. We're in a very choppy range, but again, we're ranging, we're now breaking out of it. And what we're looking at is the lower time frame to see if we can break out of it and turn this into support and drive further up and bounce from it, or if this is unable to break down and if this is just going to lead into an expansion. But right now we're in the range itself. Okay. Oliver says, yo, G, you don't take Mondays off? Well, I never did. I never ever take a day off here. I work 7 days a week. 7 days a week. Of course, we're streaming only 4 days a week. But no, man, we're working around the clock. When I'm done with the stream, I probably directly go back testing. I probably directly go back into back testing mode. Straight up, right away. So no break for me here. And we have to manage the community. There's so many things we need to do. So, big responsibilities. How much time left for the news? We have around 30 minutes left. 40 minutes left for the news to come out now. So we might as well are waiting for the news to come out. That's what it could be, that we're just not gonna move until the news. Okay, shows inside the LTA Trading Floor, yes. So right now, currently, we have around, and we have been doing this now for a couple of weeks where we are actively trading now. We kind of launched this. It took some time, right? Ever since LTA Concepts got released, we kind of had the idea and thought process that before we start live trading in the community or with a couple guys that are kind of leading the pack, we wanted to make sure that we first build leaders. Right? That we first build out leaders. We kind of give them the responsibility. And there are some really amazing guys in our group now that are putting the work on a day-to-day basis. I'm also now working very close with these guys to backtest everything that we are building. So yeah, a lot of cool stuff here. So yeah, we're trading with 100 guys on average every single day in the trading floor, and we're having fun, and we're just enjoying. And we're just communicating and asking questions and trading. And we have a bunch of guys that are streaming. And, a couple guys are, a lot of guys are taking constant trades here. But most importantly, not just to show off, also to just lead by example, right? And I think this is what matters. So we have Kellogg, we have Desmond now as well. Great to see Desmond. We have Jolene, we have Marco. We have Mike. We have so many guys now that are putting in the effort, and this is what we would love to see, guys stepping up their game here. And that gives me the possibility to just do the weekly analysis, to do the CT data, to work behind the scenes on the bigger picture, and innovate as well, and build a better product, man. Build a better product. So yeah, absolutely incredible. You guys have around 4 days left to join right there. I posted it earlier on YouTube. There was a guy that says, I rather invisibly made 1K, which is paid for the membership 5 times just today. So some guys are making back their money on the same day with this, with this indication right here. It's important that we are just going to work together. So if you're kind of like, I'm not really sure, like I don't think it's important to join right now. I think it's just time to just observe, be in observation mode, and just sit it out. And we might open again in a couple months. We want to have guys that are saying, let's go, man. I want to get in. I want to go in. I want to do it. I want to make it happen. We need that energy, that positive energy to move forward here. Okay. You want to have a community that's just ahead of the curve, that is constantly innovating. And what tends to happen is that guys are looking at you and they're looking at you how you are now. Right? And they're observing you now, and that's it. Or they take a very small glimpse from the streams, and that's it, right? But it's always about innovation. It's always about building out, because nothing is gonna be perfect from the beginning. And the longer you work on something, the better it's gonna be. It's like cutting a raw diamond. You know, first it's a raw diamond. It looks ugly. Once you start polishing it, it becomes a beautiful, expensive, fancy diamond. That's what we're building, right? Same thing for our traders. It's kind of like finding, and this is for me, finding my raw diamonds, right? And turning them into polished diamonds. That's what I'm looking for. How confirm the range breakout? Well, we just need to see this. If let's say we're now here, okay, we're now in this range right there. We literally just swipe the lows of the range itself, which then consists of, in this case, the London and Asian lows, right there. If you now break the highs here, then I think obvious, pretty accurate that we could say, okay, if you do break the highs here and there is enough volume, that we can just start looking for a bounce, and we can start looking to trade it towards the upsides right here, right? We swipe the lows and we're going to go for the highs. Once the highs are taken, we might as well continue to drive further back to the next range, as this is what we have been doing for the past weeks. We consolidate, we expand, we range again, we range back towards the previous range, or expand back to the previous range, and so on and so on. We have been constantly doing that. So now the idea is to just break out, wait for the retest, and then get into position, and then put your position sizing depending on the lows or highs. Put it below a previous low or high. That's kind of the thought process behind it. The idea now for sells, the only thing that we have to take in consideration for sells now is that if you're looking for sells, is that you do have strong daily support here, and we just practically bounce from that strong daily support right now at the moment. Okay, so I'm never really a big fan to look for sells in a once we bounce from the support, once we bounce from daily support here, right? Because that daily support clearly came from this particular level right here, right? The 2484, this is that daily level where we just have been bouncing from. So I'm never usually a big fan of shorting into that daily support. So either I'm looking for longs and looking for that internal breakout to look for longs, or we really have to break below, you know, the daily support again to see if there is potential with the confirmation of the dollar. But if the dollar is weak and it's gonna tank, let's say the dollar tanks down, it starts breaking down here. The only way for gold is, in my opinion, waiting for the breakout up to target the highs and start looking for continuation. So then it's just simply kind of your ICT, right? So your consolidation, manipulation, your expansion. The only key difference is for us to take a trade is that we only take a trade from our key levels. That's it. We only take a trade from one of our key levels, which is crucial, which is either going to be the 2500, which is a psychological level, or the 2502, which is the fixed value high, which is also the Sunday open. This is automatically also the opening price of the week as well here. So we're sitting right around there. So that means that the idea is that if you do break back above it, that I want to utilize the Sunday open and the fixed PHC as my range, my zone, my trading zone. So what I would do is, for example, I would wait for price to break out. I draw this range between the fixed PHC, the area where the most volume has traded in this range, and the Sunday open. And I would wait for this to turn into support. And if we turn this into support, I'm very confident in buys to target the range back, right? The previous daily high, for example, or the London highs, for example, at 25.27, or, you know, which is practically the Friday highs, right? That would be my ideal target, if that would be the long setup right here to take. So that could be like an area of long interest, right? If something happens here. If the dollar starts and decides to hold above this level and is showing us that we clearly are holding here, and the news comes out in 30 minutes and it starts reversing, yeah, then obviously the re-break of the daily support again might indicate weaker potential. So then I would say, okay, if that's the case, I'm going to pay very, very, very close attention to the hourly candle. Like, how does the hourly candle open up? Is there a chance we're going to flip the hourly bearish? And if you reflip the hourly candle bearish, I might take an entry on the flip of the bearish 1 hour candle to then start looking at continuation back towards 24.74 or something like that. So that means that I wait for the top wick to be set on a 1 hour candle to then reflip. But that means that before the hourly candle closes, we have to break down below, and we have to close below already. So we have to see an hourly candle closing below the 24.84 for it to look for shorts. That's the only way I would be comfortable with taking short opportunities right there. Until then, this is kind of the scenario I'm looking for. The manipulation that happens now, and then targeting the highs if the dollar remains weak during the news. And you can see now that we're already tanking. So I think it's just a matter of time before gold starts moving after the news, before we start seeing the best setup occur. Let me know if that makes sense, Gis. If so, press a yes in the chat. And I think this is a good thing to refer back to the two scenarios to look for either a long or a short with much more clarity. Realized that one of the guys who paid on the membership who got paid out on the membership within the first day in the trading floor. Wow. That's great. That's great. That's great. Penny says, I just joined the LTA VIP. I'm 100% ready to change my life. Amazing. If you join, when you join right here, make sure that you click on the introduction section and you actually introduce yourself. Okay. We have Chris, 30 years old, from Greece, a mechanical engineer. Passion is trading, spearfishing, outdoor activities, 2.5 years. Strategy supporting resistance trend lines, always execute trades based upon the volume profiles. Goal to become a full-time trader and travel around the world meeting people with the same passion. Nice to meet you, Chris, my friend. See you inside. See you inside. Gonzalo says, would you take a trade in the short term or long-term thinking? The statistics that shows almost every year that gold price goes down every September. I'm not just going to sit there and say, okay, so gold is bearish 92% of the time over the past 10 years. So, you know, I'm just going to go into gold blindly and I'm going to take a short. That's definitely not what I'm looking for, because I do understand that what I take very serious is the monthly candle. And for example, if we do come down, then this is just the first 3 days of the month, right? There's going to be a chance that price eventually starts closing lower. but we might as well take out the previous monthly highs first. We don't know that, right? So I'm just still critically looking at this range break on the 4-hour, let's say, to determine, okay, what is happening in this range, right? Are we breaking out? Are we going to look for an expansion, a bigger move? And if this is the bigger move, then I'm looking for the retracement to look for shorts from there. And I'm going to be very, very, very precise with shorting the market if that's the case right here for gold, right? But I'm not going to sit here blindly and say, okay, so I'm looking at my indicator, right? And I'm going to just look at the seasonality, and I'm going to just look at gold here, and I'm going to take gold for the past 10 years right there. And I'm going to, utilize this, and I'm going to say, okay, for the past 10 years, we have been, historically speaking for gold, we have been bearish 91% of the time, which is really bad. But that's where market timing comes into play. Right? That's where other factors come into play in order to determine here. So I rather see like a clean 4-hour breakout to then look for my setup. So I never chase the market when it comes down to the higher time frame as well. Okay, so yeah, I keep a close eye on it, and I would not be surprised if it repeats itself, but I'm not going to force anything based upon speculation again. Right? I'm going to make sure that I wait for the break retracement. Then I feel comfortable. Then I feel comfortable with looking at the continuation place right there. Okay. The low of the week is not yet set. Be careful with buys. I would say the same thing for sells as well, by the way. I would say the same thing with sells as well. I think we have just been ranging yesterday, and we're just in that range. We're still in that range. So we're still in this range from Monday. So this is the opening of the week here. Let me highlight this one right there. I think it was right there. All right. So this is the opening of the week. I mean, we have been doing nothing, right? So, I think it's on both sides. It's on both sides. So the only thing that I'm looking for is, what does the dollar do at this current moment? How weak is the dollar? Are we really going to break down during the news, or is this just a bounce? Are we going to bounce from here and continue to drive further up? If that's the case, I'm bearish potentially again with an hourly closure below the daily support too. I'm going to say, okay, hourly close below daily support. I'm going to start scaling into my short slowly. And that's it. But if you do break the highs and the dollar remains weak, I'm pretty confident in buying. So, we're just in the range. We're just in the range since the opening. So the idea would be that you just break out of the range, retest it, and look for upside. That would be the ideal, because if that happens, right, we also have the daily with us, right? We bounce from this daily support. We swipe the internal lows, we break the highs, we retest, and we look for continuation. That would be the ideal case. That would be, in my opinion, the highest probability setup for me personally. All right, the trickier short place will be looking for continuation to the downside. So possible that we continue to drive further, but it's more about, structure. Otherwise, have you stopped updating the Excel sheet? Yeah, we're currently utilizing funded accounts now. So the results from there stand by themselves. as we stop trading live with my personal account. So yeah, we're trading with funded accounts currently. So the payouts will come into play here. Once gold starts trending and it starts making really nice clean moves here, I have to start getting into trading gold with my personal capital as well. So it's also kind of a risk management play, as well. Our job says the community is just fantastic, man. 4 clean win days and literally made back everything I lost in the last 2 months. Wouldn't have been possible without the currency baskets and all the support. I mean, FOREX has been magnifique. I love it. So great to hear a job. Great to hear, my friend. Yeah, man. Great to hear. Great to hear. Lorenzo, what would you say to all the haters? I respect them. Let them do their thing. Let me do my thing. Think about this, right? Where you point your energy towards that's where you actually, you give energy. So you waste your personal energy. You can use this energy to elevate your mind, right? If you point it to the right things. So yeah, it's all up to them. G10 says the WPOC, NASDAQ futures and NAS indices is slightly different. Is that okay? I would look at futures. I would confirm it with futures. When are you gonna get your silver play button? I don't know, man. I don't know. I think it takes some time. To be honest, I haven't looked into it. I will check it out. I'll see how long it takes. I think it takes like a month, maybe. I have no idea. I don't know. Okay, so some wins for the VIP. Yeah, so we want to make sure that people post their wins as well in the chat in the chat here. And the reason why is like I always get pissed off if people will just post. I always get pissed off when people post wins without explaining why. Because I don't think that makes any sense. Because they're just trying to be cool, and it doesn't mean anything. That happened in the free channels as well a lot. For example, we have the free channels, and there's a big difference between the free channels and between our own channels, right? That we're trying to improve it, but in these channels, it's much more about showing off and trying to show how cool you are. And I'm always trying to say, okay, when you win, just make sure that you give some value, you share value, you explain your thought process behind it, because this is where people can learn from. Like, it's very interesting to watch somebody's thought process going into a winning trade here, right? With a clean, clear explanation. So that's why we said, okay, make sure that if you do it, you actually give a reasoning. And I've seen guys stepping up their game now and actually posting it, and actually you're doing it. So I'm very proud of these guys here. Beautiful. We just got one right now. Also, Forex handler, thanks to Limits Trading Academy and Lorenzo. Quick scalping on the Euro USD. And the entry model, I used the correlation of GBP, USD, Euro moved down nicely, and GC showed little movement, but both trades are in green. Okay, all right, beautiful. Lando as well, for example, gold, Australian dollar, US dollar. I've been watching the correlation between the Australian dollar, dollar, and gold over the past days. This is what I really like. Similar to Canadian dollar and oil, Australia is one of the biggest producer of gold in the world. So it's still a work in progress, and happy to take on board any feedback. Nice confluences with the dollar index bounce off support and Australian dollar basket respecting the Sunday open resistance. So it took 2 shorts on one Australian dollar and one on gold at the same time to the next level of support for a quick scalp. So yeah, man. Beautiful, well done. Lando, man, that's a great example. That's a fantastic example. Don't they make you pay for the play button? I heard it costs money. I heard it's an actual serious business from YouTube. Selling play buttons. I'm not sure how much it costs, but it costs around a couple $100. A couple $100 to buy the silver play button. And everyone buys it. Of course, it's the best. It's genius. If you reach the 100K. Let's ask AI. Let's see if they know it. How much does the silver play button cost if you reach the 100,000? Oh, the award is free. Oh, I didn't know that. YouTube covers the cost of producing and shipping it. However, there might be some indirect costs associated with the verification process, such as providing personal identification. Okay. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I thought about it costed some money. Okay, it's free. Okay, that changes my whole thing here. You see, guys, same thing happened with the Danvo, with the whole Danvo thing. We are only assuming. We have no data to work with, right? We're throwing all kinds of things in the air, and we're not always right. So let's sit it out here. Yeah, I really thought it costed money. I don't know why or who told me that, but that's what I mean. I think if you lose it, I think you have to, but if you want to have another one and you lose it, I think you can buy it again or something like that. Something that matters. How long till the news? 15 minutes. Okay, it's been a boring start of this. To be honest, ever since the weekly open, we have been ranging. So, yeah, guys, we have to leave the range. We have to leave the range. That's what it is about. We have to leave the range. We have to leave the range. What is the dollar doing? Dollar is breaking below our critical levels here. News in 15 minutes. If the dollar decides to continue to drive down, then gold is going to do what I would love gold seeing do, and that's bouncing from daily support, breaking the internal structure, and then looking for a higher low entry. That would be my sweet spot. That's what I would love to see. But yeah. We'll see. We'll see. The lows have been swiped. The internal lows have been swiped. So do you do your backtesting on TradingView? Yes, sir. That's all you need, man. TradingView is all you need to backtest. I like backtesting on TradingView. For me, it's all I need. It's all I need. So, for example, when I backtest this indicator, for example, I've been building a fund. This is all purely based on fundamentals. This is not like an RSI, or this is not a stochastic RSI. No, this is a valuation tool, okay? This is specifically a valuation tool. This is the CUT data. We've been talking about the CUT data a lot. What I do is I just test every single time, every single scenario, over and over again. When it comes down to swing trading, I use all that data and I build out a database of information. A full database of information. FOREX China said good trades in oil and gold from last week, and this week thanks to you, brother, and LTA, one entry model and volume profiles. It's great. It's getting confidence a lot. FOREX handler, man. Yeah, great to see you, G. Good to see you in general. I love it. I love your vibes, bro. I'm loving your vibes. Loving your vibes. Lorenzo, why didn't you buy before? I mean, why didn't I buy before? We said we only want to buy when price breaks above the highs. That's why. We're not going to buy here now, hoping that it goes up. Because then it rolls over again, and then you get something like this. You get something like this. So yeah. Yeah. Just take consideration. If you're shorting, right? You're shorting into daily support. So that's kind of the only thing. If you want to short from the range towards the daily support, and you want to get a quick scalp in from here to there, I can kind of get into that. But yeah, man, daily support is definitely real, and it has been an important one. So for example, if we go back to the this is maybe nice though, the 19,040 470 on the NASDAQ. But if we go take this to the daily time frame once again, then this is where we are now currently bouncing from. It's kind of this zone here, and you cannot really see it because the wicks. So yeah, let me make my wicks a little bit more visible, but you can see there that this daily high right there that we've seen created this support right there, and this is where we're bouncing from. So we're kind of bouncing off the daily support right now. So shorting into that is always a kind of a tricky play. Right? For me personally, because that's your daily support. Once you start breaking it, or at least let's say you close an hourly candle below it, the next hourly candle flips bearish or comes up, flips bearish, I'm all in for shorts towards further continuation down, as an example. as an example. Let's kick it off with the previous weekly lows, like we talked about before. Or the early previous weekly lows, sorry. Not the previous weekly lows, the early previous weekly lows. So the 2474, 2470-ish. If that would be the case. But yeah, we are 8 minutes before the news, so yeah, so the PUC held. Analysis, good afternoon from Germany. I love your stream. Thank you, G. Thank you, G. I didn't know that you could. I literally discovered a couple of days ago that, or 2 weeks ago, that you can actually follow people on TradingView. How did I didn't know that? How did I discover that 2 weeks ago? Okay, dollar bounce from support again, negatively impacting gold here. News in like what, 6 minutes? You are at daily support. Yeah, you can see that this level by itself already also at 2470, yeah, 72, 73, yeah, I would say 70, 73. That's kind of your next level already, right? You can see that we might be just get towards that zone as well here. If you find that we have strong data support there as well. So we're kind of in between the two levels, 2483, 2473. Gold currently is dropping and news is coming. So next level will be 2470, I would say 74, something like that. Everything is going down. The gold's going down. The dollar is going down. Youth is going down. What does that mean? That means one thing and one thing only. We're gonna have some fun with news. We're gonna have some fun with news. Typical news day. Typical news day. Yeah, very curious to see how we hover around this daily level. Yeah, everyone who bought before stopped out now. So yeah, that's why it was crucial to break the highs first. All right, first news is coming in what, like 2 minutes? The PMI, man. PMI. Anything below 48 is bad. Is really, really bad for the dollar. Really bad for the dollar. So let's see if that comes out even worse than 48. The expectation is that it will come down. If it's even worse than the forecast, then that is not really a good. That's not really a good sign. What is the PMI, Lorenzo? Well, the PMI is showing you, in essence, how can I simplify this? The PMI is showing you how the manufacturers in the United States are doing. So anything above 50, it kind of shows you that we're expanding in the manufacturing sector. So it's kind of like, you know, producers, it's looking very good. Anything below 50 is more of a contraction. So that's actually a danger zone, a danger territory, right? And when it comes down to like a recession, the first kind of indications are usually coming from the manufacturers first, right? That rolls over into the private sector, into the rest of the economy. So that's why the PMI is so important to understand, you know, the potential scenarios within the economy, because these usually tend to reflect first signs of recession. So the lower it is, the worse it's gonna be. And this is 47.9 right now at the moment. They came out at 47.9, so it came out worse than the forecast, all right? Came out worse than expected. So let's see how the dollar responds to that. And then also, let's see how gold responds to that. Not much so far though. Not much so far. Not much so far. Yeah, 47.9 is not good. It's definitely not good. We're kind of finding its support once again though, right? We are now currently at the daily time frame at that support level. So shorting in here is always a tricky one. Shorting in that level is always a tricky one, as this has been obviously a very strong level, right? 24, 80, 83, 84, very, very strong level. So with news, combine that with news, and you are in a very tricky position. So let's say magically we create like an hourly closure below as well. News comes out, right? It comes up first, and we set in a strong bottom or top wick, and we flip bearish again. And then I would say, okay, can we target like the 2470 or something like that? The next layer. But yeah, the most important news will be, of course, the 10 a.m. news. The 10 a.m. news. Here. By the way, I heard that we have soon some time zone differences as well here. But so if we see a difference in time, I'm currently still in Bali. Right now, currently it's almost 10 p.m. So for me, it's 12 hours later. So when people wake up in the US, I go to bed practically. But I heard it's going to be 13-hour difference soon. As the clock is going to go back 1 hour, if I'm correct. So that's a 13-hour difference. So yeah, probably going to stream 1 hour later. But I think it's somewhere like where? October or November? Something like that. I don't know. Is it October? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Okay. So this came out bad for the dollar. Dollar is ranging. It's not doing much. Youth is dropping and gold is dropping at the same time, simultaneously right now at the moment. So yeah. Because says wait for the next one. Yeah, 100%. 100%. I'm personally not shorting into that support on the daily time frame. Just one of my rules. Next layer is 2473 though. That's the next one right there. Right? You have these two levels. After that, practically there's just not much. There's a lot of room continue to drive down. So if we manage to break this as well, it's really not looking good for gold. It's really not looking that good for gold. Especially because we see the dollar holding up here. If the Fed stays the same rate, what does the market react to? Can you please give your opinion? I don't think the Fed will keep the same rate. I think they're going to decrease it. And a lot of guys are extremely bullish when it happens. But you know that many times when you started to decrease interest rates is you actually started to get into a short-term like recession. So yeah, it's not a given that the market just continues to drive up because of them lowering interest rates. It's beneficial in the long term, but in the short term, you've seen a counter reaction. Yeah, you've seen a counter reaction here. Fake down or real dip? That's the true question of the day, man. That's the true question of the day. fake down or fake out or actual push further. Gary says there was an EM1 from the fixed value area low. Yeah, the only problem is that the risk to reward was not good enough for me personally. Jam says first day of trading opportunity in September and immediately gold is diving deep. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. It's very interesting that gold directly start tanking in September right now, but I personally expected a bit of a more push up here, and I think we're still very early in the month. So really anything is possible. Anything is possible. We're gonna sit out this news in 7 minutes. And man, we might as well not even close below the daily support. So like I said, unless we're like, you know, when it comes down to the swing for September, right? Because we are aware of the red September month, right? We are completely aware of the fact that we might be looking at a very bad month for September, you know, throughout the whole, you know, over the last 10 years, right? 91% bearish. So yeah, of course, I'm going to keep a very, very close eye on the bigger picture. And if we really start trending downwards, and if we do start trending downwards, like how can we benefit from it, right? So you have a big range, you do expand, you retrace. I'm all in for sales from there. But for now, I think everything is possible here. We still have these highs. We have not taken out any of these highs yet. That's also another layer. We are still above this major structure, which is important level. Look at how strong we were before. Right? We couldn't break it before. We had that resistance here, that resistance here, that resistance here. We flipped it into support here. And we are there once again right now. So in order really to see us driving further down, either we have to break really critical levels down to say, okay, now we're trending bearish, like trending downwards, or we need to just set in the bottom or the topic first before moving along here. So like a bigger manipulation. So you set in the bottom, you break the highs and you re-break the lows, for example. That's when I would say, okay, now we're talking swing potential. Now we're talking swing potential. But it doesn't mean now that I would say, okay, I'm going to go into a swing short. Muji says gold is going to break to the 2470 level. Watch. Let's see. Let's see. Why is another negative correlation for the dollar and gold? News related. This is pretty common in an NFP week. Keep in mind, this is the NFP week. We have the NFP this week. Tomorrow is the job openings. Then we have a bunch of news also on a Thursday, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 big news events, including the ADP, and then also Friday we have the NFP. So, and it's the first week of September, the new month. So, good luck. Good luck. Wait for the right setups in the market, man. Wait for the right setups. Don't force anything, you know. Wait for the right shit. What are you saying to the other streamers that are hating you? I don't know. I don't know any other streamers that are hating. I don't know, man. I have no idea, bro. I don't know. I don't even know why they're hating. like number one. If you can pick and choose, right? So this is another layer. If you can pick and choose your best day of the week. So you wait for the best perfect setup, right? And the best perfect market condition. And that's when you stream, because you've seen the perfect setup play out, and that's the only time you stream, right? And then and you win a trade, and then you're like, oh man, well done, congratulations, right? Well done, good job, right? And that's it. That's because they can pick and select the best days of the week or the best days of the month to start streaming. And then they call themselves a streamer. I would say, listen, if you're a real G, you show up the same time, multiple days a week, and let's see how well you perform. Let's see how well you perform if you stream every day for 2 years straight, 4 days a week. No cherry picking, bro. No. No cherry picking. Every day, same time. And that's why you don't see many people doing it. So, you know, no cherry pick. Yeah, so news in like 1 minute, G's. News in 1 minute. The dollar is weak. The dollar already showed weakness beforehand. Gold is finally showing some potential, but it's still weak. Obviously, it's still weak. There is a big chance we're gonna, you know, drive further. This 4-hour candle. I would actually not be surprised if this 4-hour candle closes above. I would not be surprised, but we'll see. We'll see. We're going to see if this breaks the lows, if we're actually going to start breaking that next layer of support that we talked about here. If we do though, yeah, that's really bad for gold, but I don't see it. I see us getting back into the range. But yeah, I'm not a magician. Okay, bearish, bullish, neutral. Okay, neutral. Came out neutral. 40.54 and 47.2. Okay. Pretty neutral to me. Pretty neutral. Pretty neutral. Yeah, we closed below the daily support. 1 hour cannot close below it. We're now tapping into that next level. If you look here and you zoom out, then you can see now that we're breaking that first layer. This is kind of the biggest layer right here. It's that 24.73 level, and that's your wall. That's your end of all. That's your wall. That's the wall that supported the highs here. We bounced from it once. We're tapping into it again. If you start breaking that, you lose all the major levels. You lose all the major levels. So Did you buy a new microphone? No, I did not. I did not buy a new microphone. I should buy a new microphone. I promised to buy a new microphone. Yeah, I think I should do that. Lorenzo, how important do you think these indicators are going to be on the lower time frames? Less important on the lower time frames, of course. Yeah, we're backtesting this in the higher time frames, so it's kind of more important on the higher time frames. That's just a fact. So we're only using it for the higher time frames. All the backtesting we're doing, going through all the layers, all the different scenarios, a lot of backtesting, a lot of potential scenarios here. I mean, yeah, higher time frame. I think we're gonna outperform like crazy. Outperform like crazy. Yeah, yeah. Are you planning to start creating videos on your channel now when you reach the 100,000? Yes, we're gonna create videos, man. We're gonna create some videos. Once we're done with the backtesting stuff, we're all in for video content. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Lorenzo, what do you think of LTA concepts in all market conditions? Some market conditions are going to work better than others. And I think this counts for every single trader out there, right? You have one streamer, he's killing it. And then a couple months later, they're chilling and they're kind of like not catching as many trades as you usually get from them. And then other days, you have another streamer and he's blowing up, right? It's all because of the market. Like the market changes all the time. And some strategies work better than others. So, you know, my concept is always just stick with your main framework, adapt when needed, slightly, but don't go from one strategy to another. Just zoom out, right? You're gonna have good months, you're gonna have bad months. Keep your bad months small and capitalize on your amazing months, and that's it. Right? We had trades, we had 13, 12 win streaks as well. Right? 12, 13 trades in a row. 100 pip trade average, right? That's crazy, crazy accurate, crazy money making. And then you had days where that didn't occur. So the idea is to just zoom out and just look at the bigger picture, man. That's how I approach the markets. Lorenzo, are you funded or are you trading with personal capital? Both. Both. Dollar flipping bearish. If we start closing below it, it's really incredible confirmation for me to say, okay, dollar is weak for this session here. Okay. Jackson, hope is doing well, brother. Congrats on 100K. Well-deserved question. Have you met by any chance the team from Fun It Next? I mean, yes, we had a conversation with them, with the team itself. They're actually doing much bigger things than I thought initially. So, yeah, shout out to Fun It Next. I'm pretty impressed right now. I'm trying to really take things differently. They know the dangers of the industry. And yeah, high hopes for this, for them. If we reclaim the highs here, I might look for buys here, guys. We have this support right now. We see the dollar slowing down tremendously. If the dollar starts really closing below here, really losing its momentum around there, I'm all in for seeing here. But the dollar is indecisive. The dollar is indecisive, so is gold. Gold broke down. It tapped into the daily support. I'm usually personally, based upon my strategy, I'm not impressed. I'm not really into looking for sells into daily support first. Depends on what kind of support we're talking about. So if we're talking about, let's say, we go to the daily time frame, we go and look here, you know, somewhat in between the range, I'm fine with that. But anything in regards to a major breakout, so maybe kind of like your daily breakout retest, where you have your breakout right here, where you eventually broke off and you tested that support, I'm usually not a big fan with shorting into this daily level. So for me, it doesn't matter on what time frame it is. It doesn't matter if it's on a 5-minute, 10-minute, 15-minute. And yeah, you might make money there. Congratulations. But I'm not a big fan into shorting into this unless we start actually closing below it and actually completely invalidate it. Because then I feel, okay, we can set in the top wick on the daily and then we can start rolling over, looking for further continuation to the downside. For now, I think there are a lot of scenarios where you continue to drive down. You hold its support and eventually start driving through. You start driving back up again. And, you know, if that's the case, I have nothing against going long against it when we reclaim that support. Do you have good contact at Fun It Next? I keep getting replied with the same answer by some bot who can't answer questions. I mean, if you are in our group, we'll sort you out. We'll help you out for sure. Yeah, we have been doing this already previously as well to get some payouts in from our group as well. So yeah, that's what we do. We got your back in our group for sure. We're reaching out to the guys, maybe internally, but only if it makes sense, right? Only if it's like a real reason that something that you find is not correct. Because there are a lot of guys that are just stupid and just don't read the rules. If you just don't read the rules, obviously it doesn't make any sense. But yeah, man, if you are if it's some serious shit, then 100% will back you up. Whereas, what do you think of Raja Banks? I mean, he has charisma, man. Charisma is king. I love it. I love that. I like that person. That's what I like. Character. I like character. Right? Very controversial. Love it. I love it. I love it. Trading wise, I don't know. I don't know much about it. When it comes down to trading, I don't know, but character-wise, hey, I give him an A+. I love it. Yeah. Lorenzo, would you ever start a man? I don't think so, man. I don't think so. If I would start something like that, it has to be years of, it has to have track records, long time track records. It has to be a swing trading approach. I would never day trade or scalp the market with a mem ever, personally. I would only look for a day trade, swing trading approach, fundamental based, couple percent a month. And most people are not going to be happy with a couple percent a month because they're used to a couple percent per day. So it's not going to be interesting for a lot of guys here, in my opinion. But it's got to be interesting for the guys with real wealth that actually want to preserve their capital, or want a really good return on investment, and a couple percent a month is a great return on investment. But yeah, if you have a couple $1,000, it's not going to be that beneficial. So I think not. Do you plan on making vlogs, like daily live vlogs, routines, and so on and so on? Yes, we're going to do that very, very soon, man. I mean, my life is like follows. Like I work and I backtest, I develop indicators, I'm building the software business right now. I backtest and I go to the gym, to the boxing gym, and I fight. That's it. I fight, I stream, I work on the software business, and I help the community. That's my life. That's my life for now. And I'm completely cool with it. Did you took any trades today? No, I'm not a single trade today yet. Nope, not a single day, not a single trade yet. And I'm fine with this as well. If there's nothing for me to find here. Okay. So far, dollar is holding that support. It's all about the closures. If the dollar closes above here and there's follow through, great for the dollar. Dollar is going to hold this 4 hour and it's just going to hold that support. It's going to flip bullish maybe even. All right, it's not going to be good for gold. But yeah, because we're in daily support, I'm not interested in shorting into that. So it's either buys or nothing, or it's either going to be an actual closure below for the next day and then just looking for the continuation. And actually start anticipating on that too. So yeah, for sure that's the approach for me. Any trades been taking so long? Nope, not yet so far. Not yet so far from my side. $2% a month on initial capital is still 26% a year annually compounding, which is majority market leading, just consistency. I agree, man. I agree. So I would only look, if I would do something like a man, I would only do major swings, or sorry, not major swings, swing trading setups with, you know, perfect risk management, not using a bot, not doing anything automated, everything manually. And yeah, just do it this way, man. There is no way in hell I'm gonna trade on the 1 minute time frame with other people's money. Xavier says, World chat is very sad and quiet right now. Anyone traded the news? That's a good question, man. Did you guys traded the news? Maybe they did. Maybe, yeah, it's just a boring London, New York opening. This is finally somewhat of an expansion into the daily levels. Yeah, it's a typical gold day where it's just in preparation for news. Nothing special. We have been here, I think, 25 or 30 times before over the last 2 years. Jackson says, I swing trade on my personal scalp unfunded. I notice the less I trade, the more profitable I'm holding. I agree. The more profitable I am, I agree. Same for me. I have the exact same approach. So I scalp and day trade on my funded account, and I swing on my personal account. Whereas, do you think I can be successful trading technical analysis only for gold? So what I learned from the guys that are killing it is that like day trading and scalping is that these guys do not feel obligated to always be in position, number one. They really do not feel obligated to constantly be in position. That's number one. So the less they trade, the more they tend to make. That's one layer. Second rule I learned from day traders as well is that they are very profitable day traders. They are very aware of the current market condition. Very aware of the current market condition. And they constantly are able to adapt and build out better processes for that particular market condition. So for example, When the market is ranging, most traders lose money. But when the market is just trending, right, into one direction, most guys are just killing it, right? And they start making money and they're getting very euphoric. So this is where they make all their money, and then this is where they lose all their money. And that same cycle repeats it over and over again. And the funny thing about gold is that gold does it over and over again. It expands. Everyone is happy. Everyone is making money. And then here, everyone is losing their earnings. And then here, everyone is making money. And then here, everyone loses their money. And it happens over and over again. So the idea is that the more adaptable you are, the better it is going to be eventually. The better it is going to be eventually. But we're now back in the next level here. Next daily level. We're bouncing from this level particularly now. We need to hold this. We need to hold this. And if we hold this and we break back above here, hey, that's some good shit. That's some good shit. So I was actually thinking about, okay, maybe it's time to just close the stream because we're not going to find any trade today. It doesn't make any sense to hold you guys up any longer for no reason if you're not going to do anything else. But if we hold here, you know, it's kind of our last shot. It's kind of our last shot to see if there's potential. So yeah, my experiences from successful day traders is that they are extremely aware of the current market condition. And they know exactly what to do in what type of market condition. And what I tend to see with a lot of guys, and I agree on that from what the majority of profitable day traders say, is that most guys are not able to adapt. So most guys are using one approach, really one static approach, and they can't accept when it doesn't go in their favor. So they make money here, they're happy, they're euphoric. The market starts going from this to this, and they start, you know, they have the mindset from this, right? From when they were making like a bunch of money. And then the moment they start losing their money over time, right? That's kind of the moment when their psychology gets messed up tremendously, and where they start losing all their money they made from there. And then they start doubting themselves. Then they start to get into like crazy revenge trades. They start foaming into trades they should have gone into. And then they give back to the market. Then most likely they start getting into a buy again. And then once the buys are starting to become more visible, once again, that's the moment when they start making money again. And that's kind of like the moment also when they start becoming euphoric again. But the idea is that when we are in this zone, this is where you preserve your capital. This is where you trade less. This is where you adapt whenever you can, or have a B setup approach where you just don't, or only look for the right setups in the market that aligns with your approach to the markets. And that's what we're doing now. We're trading a little bit less than usual when being in a range like that, but we're a little bit more picky. But at the same time, we are also preserving our capital as well, which is super, super important. And the ones that we take, will still have the same probability based upon, what we're looking for. So that's kind of the idea, is that they make money here, they lose it here, and then they make money again there. But the moment they lose it here, this is where they get into a really bad state of mind. And that's kind of what you see on gold now, is that transitional phase. So, a good day trader, what I realized, can adapt in every scenario. Yeah. You have a Bali VIP right now. Can I instantly join the trading floor? You can instantly join the trading floor. But the best thing is that you understand what we're doing. So we want to make sure that you understand exactly why we're trading on. Everyone trades the same way. There is no difference in trading in our group. Everyone in our group trades the same way. So for everyone who says, yeah, LTA doesn't work, Why are there still 100 plus people trading every single day and streaming every single day if it doesn't work, right? That's just retarded. So the proof is in the pudding already. So everyone always says, yeah, LTA shit, blah, blah, YouTube live streams, blah, blah. These guys would not be here every single day streaming, you know, for free, putting in the work if it was not working for them. So yeah, you can join the trading floor at any given moment, but we suggest to go first to the series, the lecture series first, when you actually start out before heading actually into the trading floor, because that will give you the actual understanding of what we're doing. And then I think it's better to get into the trading floor with your understanding. I do the test to see if you actually know what's up, and then we can talk. Yeah. Very weak. Every bounce we get, doesn't matter if it's for daily support, we just bounce temporarily and we just continue to drive and slowly grind further to the downside. That's what I'm seeing right now at the moment. Lorenzo, check out the book map. Yeah, I can see it, man. I can see the major orders getting placed now. I can see it. I was looking at it already. I can see the major orders getting placed now. That's a 2,500 on futures, so that's around, yeah, 2,500 futures, man. That's it. So we are maybe gonna top down a little bit more. That's right here. Majority of orders are sitting right below. Yeah, I agree. Mucha says, thank you, Lorenzo, for the explanation. Kind of like my face right now. I made money on a trending market and lose all the money in a consolidating market. What do you think I should do? Either avoid it and just don't trade it until it's trending again, right? Because a lot of you guys feel obligated to trade. Or you create a hybrid strategy for it. So you create a strategy that works when you're heading into a more consolidating market. So that's what we are trying to do, is we're trying to create a hybrid strategy. A hybrid approach here. Yeah. So what are you looking for gold now? Longs or nothing, man. Longs or nothing. If we start closing a daily candle below, I'm all in for shorts. I think that we could, look for continuation to the downside. But my rule is, for me personally, I do not trade. I'm not shorting into daily support. That has been tested only once before. So that's the rule that I set in place for myself, and it has saved me a lot. It has saved me a lot over time. So longs or nothing, and I'm gonna give it until this like hourly close to see, or 50-minute close to see if it makes sense, if there is potential, if there's some volume, because we have all the news behind us. There is not much right now, and we still need to look at. How do you do that? Well, let's re-break the highs, right? And look at continuations here. That would be nice. That would be one layer. Skinny says it works. You have to figure out your filter for solid setups and market structure, just like any other system. Can't just take every entry model you see expecting it to be profitable. Nope, I agree. I agree. Jackson says, just joined the VIP. Nice, man. Welcome. Welcome. Yeah, we have a couple hours left. Good to see you. Yeah, it's going to be good. We're going to be closed for like 1 or 2 months here. So after that, we have nothing to sell you. We're just going to stream and just focus on the streams as well. Even if you want to get in, you cannot get in. You cannot get inside. So very nice. There's nothing you can buy from after. It's good sometimes as well. Let's see. We have Yannick, 26 from Berlin. Trading work, 2 years, learning LTA concepts, long-term crypto, become a full-time trader, getting a better market understanding. Nice, Yannick, man. Welcome, my friend. Good to see you. Yes, when you join, introduce yourself. Important stuff. Nice. Let's see if you have any other guys here. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yes, if you want to burn money, LTA doesn't work. That's why there are 100 people streaming every day for the past 3 months. Showing their wins, showing their statements, getting funded, getting payouts. Yeah, man, no, LTA doesn't work. The LTA doesn't work for you. And it's fine. It's completely fine. If it doesn't work for you, then it's completely fine. Then don't get involved. Don't get involved. Don't do it. Don't get involved. Don't be with us. Don't be with us. Don't be with us. All right? We're extremely data driven. So we only work with probabilities. That's it. I only work with probabilities. What's the percentage chance using the data to back it up or not? Lorenzo, any trades today? I'm gonna give it like 8 minutes. 8 minutes. See if there's some potential, some volume. That's it. Lorenzo, how many live streams have you done? For the people that are new, I think almost 400 live streams. 400 live streams. We have taken over 450 live trades on stream. So people can say whatever they want. But for me, nobody's going to beat me in that. Nobody's going to beat me. Who's going to beat me? In terms of consistency, in terms of showing up. Also when the market is not giving us what we need. Still being there. Still providing you guys with value. Nobody does this live, right? There's only a couple guys that are doing it, and I have a lot of respect for these guys that are doing it because I know the game. I know the game. I know how the game works. So people can say whatever. I would love to see you live. I would love to see you doing this. Instead of you jerking off in the morning when you wake up, playing with your Lolo, you can also hop on the stream and show me if you know better. So it's up to you. Stop playing with your Lolo and start streaming and show me how it was done. Or just accept it. Well, Alex says, how about both? Well, keep it under the table then, my friend. Jackson says, brother's got sticky keys. Oh, man. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. I always like to use these terminologies. Just stop playing with your Lolo. Because I just know how guys are, man. They wake up, life, and they ruin their prime energy, their primal energy. They ruin their primal energy. They're throwing it into the universe before they wake up. Before they wake up. And these are the guys that come to the streams and start saying, oh, but you're not trading, buy or sell, Number one, stop playing with yourself right now while you're watching this fucking stream. Alright? Stop hating while playing with your Lolo at the same time. Alright? Get over it. Stop doing it. Become a little bit more professional. Turn yourself from a boy into a man. Step up your game. And be more patient. More consistent than ever before. Okay? That's what matters. Okay? The longer I'm in this game trading live on stream, the more I'm gonna make fun of these motherfuckers. The longer I'm here, the more it's gonna be, because I feel the obligation to. So now I kind of get why good guys turn into bad guys. Because I understand how it goes. I understand now how it goes. I'm gonna reverse it now. If you do break the highs, I do like to reclaim this level 24.85. Like I said, I'm gonna give it until the hourly close to see if there's the potentials there. There we go. So as a quick question, is 4% a month and 30% of profits a year a realistic target? I think that's very realistic. Yeah. It depends how much you risk. It depends on your startup process here. It depends on what time frames you trade. But I think if you can make between 2 and 3% a month, you're doing fantastic. So if you can confirm that, and if you are consistent in it, then I do believe that once you have accomplished whatever you have accomplished there, I do think that, you know, the only thing that you need is more capital. That's it. More capital to work with. Right? So it's not about capital. It's not even about the money. It's not about turning your 50, 100 bucks into 200 bucks. It's not about that. It's about you becoming profitable, you becoming a profitable trader. And the only way to do that is to test, to back test, to dive into your strategy, to go through every single scenario. But most of the guys that I know, most of the guys do not want to put in the deep work. They only want to trade. They only want to trade and they don't want to do the deep work, because in the deep work, their strategy does not work or their approach does not work. And they get confronted with the reality, which is them not being profitable when backtesting or when doing this. So because that's painful to watch, they rather just forget about the backtesting and they dive straight into the markets. Whereas I think the roles should be the other way around. I think you should start off with the testing, really develop an edge that's proven, utilize that edge, turn that into a process, then turn it into money. And not focusing on turning your $100 into $200. No, turn that money into more money, right? There's always money available in this world if you can show that you are profitable. If you are a profitable trader, then people are willing to throw money at you. Companies are willing to throw money at you. But if you're not profitable and you try to turn your little 50 bucks into 100 bucks and you say, oh, I made 100% in a day, congratulations. But nobody is willing to give you money now. So just build out your processes, start building this out there, start checking everything that you're doing here. Put in all that work, put in all that information, start backtesting, start seeing what the actual probabilities are, right? And start utilizing these probabilities to come up with an understanding, okay? To see how profitable you actually are or not. And start doing this for every currency, every sector, everything that you trade, or everything that you are interested in. And just place trades based upon your edge. That's the way you can get ahead. That's how you can achieve something, right? It's to do the deep work before you actually start getting into the real market soon, instead of the other way around. Because the reality hurts, man. The reality hurts. It's painful. Buddy, any backtest website? I think TradingView is perfect. I think you do not need more than TradingView. I really don't think so. Yeah, you don't need more than that. You don't need more than that, in my opinion. Range I saw funded next offers a max limit of 300k funding. Is that true or is it more? It is true. 300k is the limit. It's the maximum thing you can get here. Yeah. Exactly. Cyrus says weekly is sell, daily is sell, so I just wait for another sell on the 4 hour. All right, if you close this 4 hour candle below, I'm all in for that. I'm all in for that. For now, I would say be careful because you are holding up in this. We call this the transitional phase. So your major higher time frame range support. So it's kind of like this range right now. We're currently in it. So we need to leave it for us to say, okay, now we can start trading again, right? We either bounce from it or we break below it. And either way, you're gonna find setups in both sides if you look at it from this angle. But for now, we're in this zone. We are holding up above this daily support. First time that we're actually breaking down. We have this overall bigger range. We have not even broken the range yet, so we're still in the range. We're still in this range right now at the moment. We're not leaving it yet, okay? We're still in it. So as long as we're in it, anything is possible. Anything is possible. We could easily bounce from it. And the question is, as long as we're in the range, do we really want to sell into this range, or do we rather have that extra confirmation to see if there is a chance of continuation for a sell for gold, right? Or is it better to wait and see if there is a chance that you can bounce from this zone and you actually start holding up, continue to drive higher? Either way, if you sell or if you buy, I think you're gonna find trades in both directions once you get out of this zone. Yellow, do you still live in Bali? I still live in Bali, my friend. Yeah, I'm gonna leave. We're gonna leave soon, though. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to the Netherlands next month for a week, for 10 days. Days in the Netherlands, yes sir. What are you gonna do there? I'm gonna hang out. I'm gonna hang out with my friends. I'm gonna meet my family. I'm gonna see my 90-year-old grandmother. I'm gonna see her. I haven't seen her in a couple of years, and she's 90. So I'm very happy to see her. I have to do some business. I have to meet some friends. So I'm gonna be packed, absolutely packed. I'm in and I'm out. Before they get me. Looking forward to it though. Man, really looking forward to it. It has been a long time, man. Like, I've been in, Bali for a long period of time. And I mean, it's great, but it's still a small island. Of course, I've been in Singapore a couple times. Like, I'm being around, but it's all in this same area, in this same range. Are we gonna continue to stream? Maybe one stream. Maybe one stream, but I'm probably not gonna be there for sure, no. Maybe one stream though. But I mean, one thing is for sure, the internet's gonna be better. The internet is gonna be better. So yeah, no, but I mean, we have been streaming what, this whole year? We've been streaming this whole year around. We released LTA. We've built the whole community from scratch again. Man, we accomplished all our goals this year. We're now working on our swing trading approach, our swing trading system, which is gonna be like the real deal. So we're doing everything we can. We reached 100K on YouTube. We're doing everything. Our goals are practically reached. And yeah, I mean, a 2-week break can be that bad though. And it's last quarter of the year. Sorry, last quarter of the year is coming. So Q4 is gonna be really nice. Q4 and Q1 are my best months, my best quarters of the year to trade. That's where I make the most money. Q2 and Q3 are usually the harder months of the year. So for example, my Q2 was actually really good, but my Q3 so far was not my best if you compare it to my Q1 and Q4. So yeah. Well, 9 years, genieten van samen met je familie. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. En neem je Nederlandse woordenboek mee. Bijna vergeten om Nederlands te praten, man. Ja, man. Bijna vergeten, inderdaad. Dat klopt. Have you been to Langkawi? No, I've never been to Langkawi. Do you miss the Netherlands? I do not miss the Netherlands. I mean, I miss it sometimes. I mean, you know, for a week, 2 weeks, I know that. That's why I'm only going 10 days. Because I know that then that's the sweet spot for me. I go there for 10 days. I get back into my, you know, the feeling, oh man, I'm back home, blah, blah, blah. I meet my people, my friends. And then after 10 days, I'm like, where's the sun? Where's my AAA quality food? Where's my pool? Where's my boxing gym? Where's my studio? I'm gonna miss all of that stuff after 10 days. But within that 10 days, I'm gonna optimally enjoy it, for sure. I'm gonna be very happy to be back. So the question is, geez, are we bottoming out? Are we bottoming out right now at the moment? Are we holding support here? Are we gonna turn this support into a breakthrough, a breakout? Is this range gonna be the range where we finally start breaking? We have been building a new range right now, right? So you guys know the deal. When trading ranges on the lower time frame and look at the bigger range, it's either going to be this one, it's either going to be something like this, all right, breaking structure and looking for upside, or in this case I would say confidently, okay, if you do come down, we're going to see something like this. We just have the range to work with. If you want to trade the range, you can trade the range. I think it's a boring range to trade in. We just went from one range to another range. That's all we did. We just broke out of this range. On the bigger scale, on the 15-minute, we're looking at the 1 minute now, but we're just building a range. We're building a slow range, a slow grind, and there's just not much happening here. But the moment we start breaking that and you start really retracing, then I think then that's where your opportunities will come from, right? The break out of the range shoot. Accumulating buyers and accumulating sellers, and then it's just all about, okay, are we going to swipe the lows, break the highs, look for continuation up, or are we going to do the opposite? We break the highs, swipe the lows, look for continuation down. That's where the confirmations come in. So we're literally on the lower time frame. We are now between two daily levels. Two daily levels, right? This one and this one. And on the 1 minute within that range, we're consolidating. And I think what we're going to do and what we're going to see happening now is that we just consolidate for a long period of time. You're now like kind of trending downwards, right? So we're now getting that breakthrough moment. So if you do break out of this zone, yeah, of course, that's very good. Very bullish. You know, we might hold that daily support again. We reclaim that next level and we just continue to potentially push back up again. But if you do break down, yeah, it could easily be that we're just looking for continuation to the downside from that. Yeah, from that zone. So yeah, it's just a typical week where you are preparing for the NFP. Chances I'm gonna write the book one day named the LTA VIP, the start of my journey to success. I just bought the membership and I already know that this is gonna be the best decision I made in my life. Amazing. Incredible, bro. Yeah, make sure that you introduce yourself. I would love to see an introduction as well from you. This is going through it randomly. We have Marcus, 22 from Latvia, pro football player. Traded support and resistance beforehand. It's just a simple one. Because if I see somebody talk in our group, the only thing that I have to do is I type it in here and I find you right here and I find your introduction. and I kind of know where you're from, what your name is, you know, how old you are, what your passport number is, your bank account, PIN number. I know all that stuff, so I can then, you know, no, I'm joking, but you know what I mean. How is Bali for women? I mean, 70% of all the tourists in Bali are women. So it's a 70-30. It's unfair. Like 70% of all the tourists that come here are women. So I think that this is one of the safest places. If I say I think, I know Bali is one of the safest places in the world. Yeah, true. It's just because of their culture. Yeah. And I've been here for 5 years, so I for sure, I know Bali is one of the safest places in the world currently for a lot of people here. If you do respect the culture. If you do respect the culture. Yeah, one of the safest places in the world due to their people. We leave the door open here. I have a whole studio. This studio right here is this studio to build. Cost me around $25,000. $25,000 to build everything, to have everything set. I leave the door open sometimes. I'm not telling you, I'm not giving you my address. But I mean, I leave the door open. Of course, there's always somebody home. So don't try to fuck with me. Right? You're gonna get screwed. But yeah, anyways, it's safe. It's very safe. And if you steal here, or if you do something illegal here, you're done. You're done. So don't try anything foolish in Bali. Be respectful to the culture. And I think that if you're respectful to the culture, you know, Bali is a place where you give respect. If you give respect, you earn respect. That's it. If you're friendly to the people here and respectful to the Indonesians that live here, and you don't expect that it's your territory, that it's your place, right? You understand it's their land, they decide mainly. Then you're gonna have a very good time here. A very, very good time here. Absolutely. Question: is it illegal for you to eat pork in Bali, even though you're not Muslim? I don't eat pork in general. I don't eat pork in general, so I don't need to think about that. I eat a lot of meat for sure, but I don't eat any pork. So I don't know. I'm not a big fan of it. So it's not illegal. It is legal, but I'm not a big fan of it. Yeah. The rest, did you hear about Danvo? What happened? No, man. What happened? Enlighten me, please, bro. Please. Let me know. What do you think is the best thing about Bali? Like I said it already, man. The culture, man. The people. I respect the people so much here. These Balinese, man, are the most humble, the sweetest people you will ever meet in your life. I don't have any words for it. I'm Dutch myself, and there is no way that, like, just so much warmth from the people here. I cannot I don't know, I cannot be more positive about the Balinese. And the beautiful thing about the Balinese people is, if you fuck with them, if you screw them over, they fuck you up. They completely destroy you. They fuck you up here. So they're extremely nice if you are nice. But the moment you fuck up, be careful, man, because they're gonna come for you. So no, man, I have a lot of respect for the Balinese people. I love the people, love the culture, and that's why we are now also officially kind of a sponsor of a gym, a boxing gym here, a local boxing gym in Bali, where we sponsor the fighters. So we sponsor the professional fighters that are starting out, and people think, oh, professional fighter, so you must make a lot of money. Well, it's not that easy, right? For a lot of guys here, they have to really work their way up the ladder from the bottom. So we're trying to support the guys here. So we're supporting like a local boxing gym. So that's kind of our way to give back as well. Always looking for ways to give back. And I was like, what do I like? I like boxing. I'm a big boxing fan. So let's support the local boxing club. You didn't mention the tens everywhere, my G. Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure. A lot of tens here as well. I agree. So if you want to be a passport bro, then come to Bali, man. Come to Bali if you want to become a passport bro. A lot of Russians for you if you want to. If you're interested in Russians or Ukrainians or whatever. Good luck. But you have to be someone. Yeah, you can't be a loser. You have to, you know. You have to step up your game. Right? You have to step up your game. That's it. There we get there. And it says 1 year full dedication have just started for me. See you in the trading floor after the stream. Yes, we're gonna go and get into the trading floor. Marco is still there. Kellogg is still there. Need to catch up with these guys as well. We had a great call with them yesterday, by the way. Yeah, man, I had a call with them, and they're really hyped about what we're doing and what we're building. So yeah, love it. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Evan and Arxa are working out in Bali. We treat our guests very well. Hope you guys come to Bali as well. Where do you work? Where do you work? Which hotel do you work? Let me know. Which one? Where do you work? Where do you work? Los Angeles has slowed downward movement. It is downward until the end of H4, at least 24.64. Yeah, so for now, we're in a 1 minute range. In the middle of a 1 minute range, we have been consolidating. Overall today is very boring to me. We have been consolidating. We left the range to tap into this daily support, just showing that we cannot even hold this first daily level. Number one, we are unable to hold this initial key level that we tapped into, which is this one right here, where we could see on the daily time frame that we bounced from previously. So, you know, based upon that, I was like, I don't want to short into this because you're now tapping into the daily support. We already kind of bounced from it previously. Not a big fan of that. And now we're in between these two critical key daily levels on a 1 minute time frame ranging here. So very boring day to me personally when looking at the overall market, right? We did swipe the London and Asian lows. After that, it seemed like there was some potential, but after that, we just continued to sell off, and we just came back into that daily support. And yeah, ever since we broke that initial one, we just bounced from the other one, and now we're ranging in between on the 1 minute time frame. That's kind of the situation here for gold. So what needs to happen is you need to leave the range for it to to actually become relevant for us to start trading it. So that's it. And then at the same time, yeah, I do have the NFP coming this week. A bunch of more information, a bunch of more news events, a shit ton of news events, by the way. And then I do believe we have a major difference in regards to the dollar. The dollar is looking very well. The dollar is actually looking very strong at this current moment, I have to say. Dollar is holding up very well. So I'm still definitely looking on the weaker side here. Right? You definitely have to put it in perspective that if gold bounces from here and the dollar is strong, we might roll over once again and start continuing tomorrow. And just continue to drive through. So yeah, there is this overall today, very boring day. Overall, we have been ranging practically the whole day. And yesterday as well to break down into daily support right here. And now we're holding daily support. So that has practically been the week so far. So hopefully we either move into it. This turns into a big range and a manipulation, holding daily support, reclaiming this daily support and looking to the upside. Or we just close the daily candle below the 24.73. That's the only way I would say, okay, then I would start looking for sell side continuation plays where you just simply break down after you continue to already trend on the lower time frame. So we trend bearish on the lower time frame. We can break this. We continue to drive down. We retrace and we sell off. And that's your sell buy too. Okay. These are kind of your two scenarios. One scenario is that you break the highs and you bounce from it, flip it into support, but the dollar has to be weak. The dollar is looking very strong at the moment. So if the dollar holds up being strong, gold's gonna have a hard time, and gold's just gonna break down. Continue to drive further. Okay, that's it. The gray limiter says one need to trade the strategy with longer trades. Scalping is not quite beneficial in the long run. If you are in a range like this, scalping becomes very nice, right? Only in a range like this. For example, last week was very good, and the week before that was very good, except Friday. Friday was a losing trade. For the rest, very good. In the bigger range, I think scalping becomes relevant. Scalping, lower time frame setups, trades, and so on and so on here. Once you start leaving the range, I think look at the bigger picture is where the most money is definitely made here. Okay, so I don't see any trades today, especially not if we have been ranging since the open. No clear direction and a breakdown into daily support. We really have to show us and see what we're going to do from here, because I really want to see us holding above daily support and reclaiming 24.84, or actually showing us that we can close below it. And if you close below it, you officially broke below major structure, and you're going to continue potentially sell off from there. So boring day. Still wanted to show up regardless, because I do believe that it's my obligation to be here regardless if the market is good or not, and you can be upset about it, but I'm still going to be here to show at least the potential and to at least enlighten you, to show me that I'm going to be here also in days when the market is not doing much, and still showing my commitment. So that's my commitment towards you. Your commitment is going to be joining us in the trading floor. We have only 3 hours left, 2 hours left before we close down. And then we're going to be closed for around 2 months. Then there's nothing you can buy from me for the next 2 months. All right? Nothing. So only the live streams, the ebook, and the value constantly right there. So for now, we're expanding. We are almost there. We're almost going to close down. So this is your absolute last chance to join us in the VIP trading floor before we're going to be closed down. And then, yeah, I'm looking forward to see you inside too. Okay. If you've doubted, don't do it. If you are hyped and you are interested in joining us, trading us with us live in our community with our guys that are killing it, we have set a couple of leaders. Some of them are going to deserve or going to get the strategos role. We have different roles in our group and we can utilize here. Okay. Some of them are going to earn the strategos role very, very soon. These guys become leaders. Leaders build winners. Winners create more winners. This is how we build out the community while we're in the back end innovating and building out a lot of different layers right here. Okay. So very easy. The global recession will crush everyone who's not prepared. We're going to be ready. Okay. And we're going to be ready with all the data, everything that we're building, everything that we're doing. We are going to be prepared. We are going to be ready. So this is why I'm putting in so much effort and so much work into the understanding the bigger picture and not only look at the 1 minute time frame all the time, because I know how important the higher time frame is going to be once the market turns and goes into a recession. Big opportunities will present themselves, and I'm going to make sure that I'm ready for you guys as well here. Okay. Trading is the best industry to be in during hard times. You can go long, you can go short, but only for those who have the data to back it up, the skills and the opportunities as well here. So now is the last chance to join us. All right. Last time we were closed for 50 days. We might as well do the same thing this time. All right. VIP.LTA click on the link, join us in the trading floor live, get into the LTA Concepts series, lecture series, 7.5 hours of work, and then start trading with us live every day, right there. All right, I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna keep showing to show up even when we closed, when there's nothing you can buy from me. I'm gonna show up every day regardless for the next weeks. Expect. Wait, let me think. Except mid-September for 1 or 2 weeks. That's it. 1 or 2 weeks I'm going to be in the Netherlands, and then I'm going to be back until the end of the year and close the year strong with you guys. All right. So once again, quickly, we either break the lows and we continue to drive sell up here, or we reclaim this level and we continue to buy. I really use this range breakout as the decision maker. That's it. So breakdown, retracement, sell off. Break up, pullback, continuation. This is the decision maker for me on the lower time frame. Why? Because we're in 2 critical daily levels, and I want to break and reclaim one of those. So either break the 2473 to sell off, or come back up. What is the bigger chance? What is the bigger thing? I think the bigger thing is we might just sell off. The reason why is because the strongness of the dollar and the 4-hour flip. We have the 4-hour candle closure on the dollar index. If we close above and we flip bullish, then I think that we have that upside potential for the dollar to continue to be strong. And if that's the case, then gold will continue to potentially drive down because it can't deal with the dollar's strength. And we're just going to respect this bearish trend at the moment. All right. So you can either enter now, or you can be patient and wait for the daily support to be broken to retrace into this range and start taking your sellers from there. All right. One of those, breakout or breakdown. I think the breakdown, I give it a 70-30% chance we're going to break down. And a 30% chance we break up. But you can trade in both directions. Why? Because you're still overall in the bigger range. For now. And as long as we're in this range on the bigger scale, we're just looking at the lower time frames, looking at these range breakouts for our trades, for our setups. But we do need volume, all right? And the moment we start breaking it and leaving this expansion up or down, that's when we go back to our traditional day trading approach, which is the 30-minute time frame. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna be back tomorrow regardless. If the market is shit or not is shit, I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna show my commitment towards you. Looking forward to have all your questions about Danvo tomorrow. See what we can talk about tomorrow. Okay? Gotta be good though. All right? Take care. Have a amazing rest of your day. I'm gonna be back tomorrow again, and be careful in the markets right now at the moment. Step up your game, G's, and don't play with your load in the morning. Helps you gain some momentum. Ciao, ciao. Take care.